Right, solve the following part 6. So this time we're solving linear inequations. Inequations, we solve them exactly the same as solving equations. What you do to one side, you do to the other. We carry the sign through, and then there's one rule we need to remember, and that is that while 2 is less than 3, if I was to divide both sides by -1, 2 divided by -1 is -2, 3 divided by -1 is -3, and the sign actually goes the other way because -2 is bigger than -3. So whenever you divide by a negative number, or in fact multiply by a negative number, you need to reverse the sign. So let's start. We're going to -5. Just continuing with the same sign. That would be -8, being careful with the integers. Dividing by 4. -8 divided by 4 is -2. Subtracting 5. Dividing by 2. Subtracting 1. Dividing both sides by 2 to cancel out. Right, and we'll come back to the one below there later. Expanding. Subtracting 6 from both sides. Dividing both sides by 4 to cancel out. Once again, expanding. Now we would subtract the 4. 4 take away 4 is 0. I'm left with -4n. 15 take away 4 is 11. This time I need to divide by -4, both sides. Dividing by a negative, bells need to go off. We need to reverse the sign. -11 over 4. Right, multiplying by 2, or 2 over 1 if you want to think of it that way. The 2's cancel. Dividing by 2, timesing by 2. That will be -8 on that side. Subtracting 3 from both sides. -8 minus 3 would be -11. Now I'm going to need to divide again, this time by -2. So bells are going off. Reverse the sign. 2 negatives make a positive, 11 over 2, or 5.5. Right, multiplying by 5, or actually 5 over 1 is what we're multiplying by. Leaves me with 2a less than 10. Dividing both sides by 2, a is less than 5. I'm going to subtract the 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. Once again dividing by -2, both sides. So bells are going off. Reverse the sign. -1. X is a number less than -1. Right, looking for the side with the smallest n value. We'll subtract 2n from both sides. 5n minus 2n is 3n minus 2. We'll add 2. Dividing both sides by the coefficient of the variable. N is greater than 7 over 3, a number greater than 7 over 3. If we just move up to finish the sheet, back to number 4. Subtracting 2. Dividing both sides by the coefficient of the variable to cancel it out. -7 over 4. Number 8, I'm going to multiply by 4, or 4 over 1. The 4's cancel. 1 times 4 is 4. I'm going to minus 2. Now dividing both sides, in this case by -1, there's a 1 in front of there. I can divide both sides by -1, and when I do that I need to change the sign around. 2 divided by negative 1 is negative 2. N is a number less than, smaller than, negative 2. Number 12, subtracting the smaller one will make the maths easier. Add 1. And then I need to divide by the coefficient of the variable. N is a number smaller than 5 over 4. Before we finish, let's just go and check that we understand what that means. If we think back to an easier one like number 2, what have I actually found? We're looking for a variable, a letter, such that when I double it, add 5, I get an answer greater than or equal to 9. And we found an answer that says a is greater than or equal to 2. So let's take a value of a greater than or equal to 2. We could try a equals 6. Let's substitute it into the left-hand side. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 plus 5 is 17. And yes, it is a number bigger than or equal to 9. However, if you were to try a equals 1, substitute it into the left-hand side here. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 5 is 7. You'll find that that's not true. It doesn't give me a value bigger than or equal to 9. To ensure that the left-hand side gives me a value bigger than or equal to 9, I need to make sure that a is at least 2. So we could just check that by trying a equals 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. And 9 is greater than or equal to 9. That's still true. So that's what we've discovered. We've discovered that as long as you take a value bigger than or equal to 2 and substitute it into the left-hand side here, this value from the left-hand side will be greater than or equal to 9.